Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So what you was using?
I was in my car because I got 4 kids. I got a lot of noise. So this the quietest spot in my house is my car.
I feel. Okay, I'll make it quick so you can get back ice. All right, it's Liana Smith, Quarantine and All. This is episode 8 of the Unrestricted Podcast. I am here with my family, so it's going to be something really, really fun. So, to my guests, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
What's up to everyone? This is Eric Jones Podcast host, founder, all that.
Yes, it is my cousin
Liana.
Eric. Huh?
How you been, man? Are you got your soap? Are you washing your hands like every 30 minutes? Hand sanitizer, dial, all that old stuff.
In the same family, we don't play that. We don't play that. The doctor told my mom one time that I stayed sick because she kept her house too clean, and she said, "Oh well." I remember like it was yesterday. He was like, "What do you use to clean?" She was like, "Lots of bleach." He said, "Well, I think your immune system is rather weak because you've been keeping your house too clean." Yeah, her response was, "Oh well." All right.
Yeah, oh well.
So seriously, I think the vibe, since we're like quarantined, the vibe I want to give out today for the podcast is like, I want the listeners to picture like how we do during family reunion, like our gatherings, which we can't tell them everything.
No, it's some ancient Negro secrets going on.
So if you're not from the South in particular, or you're not from like African American descent, or been around a lot of different cultures, it is something, especially in the South, that we do, where like we all like get together for, it could be like random weekends, like cookouts, but like it usually happens at night when it's like cooler. You can catch us in the backyard, under the carport. It's just like family vibes. And so close your eyes if you need to, and just imagine that you are watching and listening to my family, and we don't even see you there.
No doubt. Just eavesdropping on us.
Eavesdropping on us, and it's just going to be like something that maybe I brought up, and then you'll hear how Eric responds as if he got like a cold one in his hands. And we in the kitchen, we always gather in the kitchen and just talk about things for hours. So this is your insight on our family.
And it's going to be great because we have an awesome family.
It's going to be so dope. All right, so Teacher Life Rant, of course, every week. Like I said, Eric edits this every episode, so there's nothing about this podcast that he does not know. For one, if it wasn't for him, I probably would still be somewhere chilling, not put my best foot forward. So, of course, I appreciate him. So I'm going to let him have a life rant. But my teacher rant is really how, I guess it's like a plus side and minus side, is how the country, especially the current administration, how you're going to ignore the importance that education has. And I say that because our budget keeps getting cut. And then now we're in situations like this where kids some students depend on class meals or school meals. They depend on school for snacks or even clothing, transportation, things like that. And you continue to cut our budget. And so now each school, each district individually is trying to figure out what's best for a whole scope of students. And so that's like my rant. I see a lot of teachers like myself, we're lending our time, of course, like free of charge. It's not like I'm gonna still get paid. And we're lending our time, and we're doing the best we can. But what can I do about my students who do not have phone or internet access right now? And that has been a huge concern and a worry of mine. And I feel like, why has this country existed so long without a plan like this in place? So that's my rant. Eric, your turn.
Okay, my life rant. I have a lot of life rants, but my number one life rant is when I'm at the store and people are on their phone, on their speakerphone. Cut their speakerphone off. Get a headset. Every phone comes with a headset. Every phone you buy comes with a headset. It's for listening to music and also listening to the person you're talking to. Because I don't want to know about what your significant one has not done or has done. I don't care. So, if you see me and you're on your speakerphone and I'm just looking at you with a side eye, it's why. Because I don't want to know what you're talking about.
I might want to talk to Gail about it. Which I don't know if she do it in public, and Gail is my mom. But she don't do it in public. But I promise, when I'm at home and like I'm visiting home and I'm at her house, I'm like, girl. She tells me, I can't hear when it. What? You can't hear when it's close? Baby.
I can understand at home, but don't be on the speakerphone in Dollar General.
Is it usually like older people though?
No.
Okay.
No. Everybody, old, my kids, I slapped the phone out their hand because they on speakerphone in the store. Don't do that. Our age, no, that's a pet peeve of mine. That's my life rant.
Life rants. We all have them. Okay, so I figured we're gonna talk about some topics of what's going on right now. Of course, the coronavirus, also known as COVID-19.
COVID-19.
COVID-19. Welcome. I must say, 2020 has ushered in a new decade, and it ain't playing with us.
No, man. I mean,
it ain't playing with us.
Kobe died, and we got the COVID-19 and all sports canceled. What is going on, man?
Cancel culture, then cancel everything.
Everything. The COVID cancel. That's what that should be the title. COVID cancel.
That's probably gonna be the name podcast. COVID cancel, and it actually started with November. It started in actually November in China. It just started being talked about because it was always here. Let's be clear. It was here before they told us it was here. But I guess especially, I don't know. I do have a lot of medical people that I do know, but I don't think that's one of those things that it's like a specific test, right? So if you was testing for flu symptoms or whatever else you was testing for, I'm thinking it probably would not have shown up, especially because it's a new strand. So FYI, if y'all hear something in the background, it's my cat. He on another level right now.
He on one?
He on one. He been had COVID-19.
But hey, catch this out for real. It's only coronavirus is like the top, and it's like sections of coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 3 that humans can get. That's COVID-19. That's sudden acute respiratory syndrome, which is SARS, and Middle East respiratory syndrome, which is I'm gonna say MERS or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, those are the 3 that humans can get. Mm-hmm. I didn't know. I didn't know it was a realm of coronaviruses.
Mm-hmm. Just the strand, just only certain. This is like a new mutation of a certain strand. And also, I had a friend that's a veterinarian actually said the first case actually was in a cat.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I've been looking at Penny sideways ever since.
Yeah, I know you have been. Yeah,
but he don't care. He is me, I am him in cat form. All right, so topic first, Eric. How has this outbreak affected your career and family?
Well, with the family, this week here was spring break. And they got an extra 2 weeks out.
Hey, day-to-day care.
So, but I still got to work. They have not canceled my work. They said if we get COVID-19, we are going to be what's the word that she used?
Cursed.
Rapidly. What's the word that she used? We gonna leave the building in a monkey suit. Let's say that. But she used a better term than I just used. And Corn, yeah, we gonna have a full suit on, so we can't give it to anybody else. And we're gonna get short-term disability while we out.
Okay, well, I got it. I'm just playing. That ain't right, Lord. I repent. But honestly, y'all, this is exactly what I would have said if we was at home. And then it'd have been some old lady or someone be like, "Don't say that." I'm like, it's a joke.
Yeah.
So I would say with me, of course, because you are extended family, because you're so far, and my career, again, being a teacher, it has affected me in every way possible. Our spring break is this week. So I mean, what else can I do about it? I am currently trying to figure out some mini lessons to post on like Facebook, Instagram. I've already posted about me lending my services. So if you have a kid that needs to be tutored or you need some ideas, I got you. I'm just gonna have to schedule it out because I've already got like 3-4 people lined up, and I'm like, whoa, what did I do? But I'm cool. It's a deal. And I think for what's today, Monday. So for the rest of the week, I'm at least gonna do a podcast, like review for But Why podcast. I'm gonna pick an episode, develop some questions, and then we're gonna have a parent, teacher, student, whoever, we're gonna log on to post our answers. So that should be fun and different. Expanding, my talent. And my family. My dad works at a pharmacy, so I'm just thinking about my immediate family right now. My dad works at a pharmacy, and my mom works at Walmart, and they gave them gloves, which is weird. Like my mom and them always had gloves, so she always wore gloves, but they actually gave them the mask not too long ago, like before everybody was like hoarding masks. So that was interesting. That let me know that big businesses, you already knew about this before it became public. But
let me ask you this.
Yeah, what's up?
Are the masks made in China?
I bet you they are. Shoot. Or the
Philippines. Does that defeat the purpose? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That, yeah. Look, don't do that on my podcast.
Okay.
God, see, that's why you can't have a family. Like when I just, like I know, like it's supposed to be like real casual, but okay. We're here now.
I cut it out. I cut it out.
You got to. But what else to say? So like, I don't know, because I think it started like a meat market situation. And somebody posted a video of what that meat market looked like. Player. Oh, I gotta send it to you. When I tell you, I know that I am not cultured as much as I should be. And I promise you, I think as minority people, we can't come down on another subset group. But what I am saying is, that was crazy. Like the dogs in cages, the dead dogs laid out, the ducks, like, I understand, like, that's how some people, they've been living that way for centuries, okay? So, no judgment. I'm just saying, we're going to have to thank USDA a little bit.
Yeah,
Just a little bit. We'll have to send out our appreciation for a little bit. That was crazy. Really, Penny?
Yeah, shout out to USDA. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. So, yeah, that's all I got for that. And my family seems to be doing well. Again, my mom, she works with the public. I am concerned because she is a diabetic and they're on the high risk list, but none of my parents are like older. But she does live with my grandfather who's like in his 80s, so I am concerned with that. But he seems to be well. My mom says she's monitoring herself, but what can she honestly do if they have not closed work? So, yeah, that's it. So that's how our families. And the next question says, what would you like to see? Ooh, this is a good one. What would you like to see from the educational system throughout at this time? What do you think we should be doing?
Well, first of all, I want to say, when they start cloning teachers, right? They should get you and just clone you because, not saying it because you're my family. I'm saying it because I when I talk to you about education, about teaching, I hear the passion in your voice. And if everybody had that passion like you did, then we wouldn't have any problems. That's just how I feel. So, but what I think they should do. Whew, okay. My mom was a teacher. My stepfather was a teacher and a principal. I've seen both sides of the fence, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. And I know good teachers, and I do know teachers that really don't, they just there to get a paycheck. Mm. And I do know some parents who care about their kids' education, and I know parents who send their kids there because it's the babysitter. So I think that all of us should sit down and talk about what the parents need to do from the teacher's point of view and vice versa. Just sit down and communicate. That's one thing I see.
What me and Mandy's episode was like geared towards was like, okay, so you have to have a parent, teacher, guardian, doesn't even have to be biological, some person from a child's family as a representative. Now, whether even if it's foster care, like it's no excuse, is what I'm saying, because especially during times of like hard times, like recently, like I had a child's parent pass away and I knew nothing about it. Like nothing. I have another whose dad is on like their deathbed and I knew nothing. Like kid did not show no signs, nothing, until the counselor approached me because a family member reached out to see if we knew, and the kid was still coming to school. I mean, he didn't change. I'm not seeing anything in her behavior either. So it was a complete like shock for me. And it's like, oh my gosh, like especially if it's a parent that you met or something, or even if it's not, like I have my own way of like how I process, how I approach these situations as a teacher with my students, but I would have liked to know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like something, yeah. Like I want to know more things so I can be prepared, and especially how to service students. Again, I always tell you, like, schools weren't built for anything other than the fact that people had to go to work in factories and they had nowhere for their kids. We know the historical context. We know when they moved out west, their thing was to try to Christianize natives. Like it's not, schools were not built for great things. Like this is not a historical like great thing behind it, you know? And so we are trying to make the best of it, I would say, in the past century or so. But again, educational has to be last in the way that it changes, because they're growing minds. We cannot afford to be unstable. So now I'm thinking the shift has to turn to where we are setting the precedent of what education should look like. What do we want people from America to be viewed as? Like, this is the turning point, like, for me and how I view it. So what I want, I guess that's what I want to see from the educational system. I want to see some forward-thinking people. I want them to stop cutting our budget. Okay? All that money he spent building that wall, we could have been giving kids access, internet access, and laptops, and everything else. Anyway, I can't even get started. You know how I get started, but
see, that's why we need a clone of you.
It's just annoying. And even I would say some people who, quote unquote, teachers that are just getting a check, I must admit, between your first year and just as years go on, it's what, my fourth year? Third. It's my third year? Third year, second year, third grade, got it. You get burnt out. It's an emotionally draining job. It takes a lot of time. And it takes years to like build a routine or something. But like you said, if you're passionate like me, I know what education has to be for the betterment of the future, and so therefore it is draining. The relationships that you have to have with your family, your friends, your coworkers, the students, their parents, their families, administrators, like the relationships that you have to uphold on a daily basis is insane. Like 60 plus kids, I have to think about 60 plus kids Monday through Friday. And most of us still think about them on the weekend. It's emotionally draining. Now, we can't help how much we get paid, but I know if you can stop doing things like cutting our budget, building walls, funding, I don't know, like I'm not even saying to down like military things, but it's other stuff that I know, like the housing budget. Well-able people that can work, cut that budget. No offense, but cut that budget. Because no, like history and facts have shown that it end up being a cycle. At this point, we are in multi-generational people being in poverty, living in hoods, ghettos. What is it? Housing, government housing. Like
government housing.
Crazy. That's insane. We have now, I've heard that in one housing situation, like one project, there is a great-grandma, a grandma, kids, and grandkids. Like, not in the same house, but that's how long they've been living in the projects.
Oh, you mean they're generational?
Generational housing. Living in government. Ain't nobody that ever had own their own home. Or worked like a 40-plus hour job. Not to say everybody in the family, but I think that if I can walk to my grandma's house, my great-grandma's house, my grandma's house, my mom's house, my house, and we all living in the same projects, I'm not judging. I'm just saying this is a problem. It's a national problem. But it's also a mindset.
That it is too. You're exactly right.
So, yeah, I always have to tie back to education. But, yeah.
It really starts with education. It starts with it.
It does, and it starts at home. Like, not in like a bad way. It's just the idea that I am not your teacher's favorite teacher. I'm not your child's first teacher. I should not be the one that your kid comes to for answers. Sounds crazy, but hear me out. You should be your child's first teacher. You naturally already are. Mm-hmm. But if you ask like, who's your hero, or no, I would love to be I'm the teacher Beyonce. Of course I'm somebody's hero. But what I'm trying to say is like, they should be like, well, my grandma taught me this and this and this, and that's more than I ever learned in school. I should not be offended as a teacher. They should be like, oh, they own it. They own it.
Yeah.
And so that's all.
You call yourself the teacher Beyonce? I like that.
Yes, because I'm trying to work hard. I'm trying to and it's, of course, like teacher comparison is like real. Like I'm always looking at teachers like, dang, man, how they have time for that? They so good at that. But then I'm like, I'm me, you know? I do how I do, have my attitude. I do my own lane or whatever. And so that's why I got Teacher Beyonce. And it stemmed from that Beyonce book that I bought. And I don't know if you saw it, but the kid left me a sticky note.
Yeah, I did. I did see it.
And I was singing Beyonce, and she was like, oh no, I just found it the other day. It was on my desk. Or was it the next morning? She was like, leave the singing to Beyonce or something. I love it. So, I was like, you know what? I played Beyonce that whole day. I did cut back on the singing, but I played it. And then I need myself to teach Beyonce.
The Beyonce.
That is really how it started, but now it is it. That's how I'm going to do this thing.
It fits you. It fits you. I can see that.
Thanks. I just need to get some highlights. But no, seriously, got anything in closing before I give the homework?
Yeah, I do. Whatever y'all doing, stop what you're doing right now. Go wash your hands. Go wash your hands. Stay away from that corona with that lime. That's not good for you, man. Wash your hands.
Hey, that's probably how I'm wrong for this. But that citrus is good. That vitamin C, that's probably the only reason how some of y'all uncle getting their citrus is them limes. They dropping in their beers.
Yeah.
On the orange on side of them blue moons.
Yep.
Woo! That's hilarious. But Eric, thank you as always. I tell you all the time. I'm glad I feel like this is the first time he was on the podcast, which is crazy.
Man, this is the first time I have been on the other end.
Oh.
I'm always the host. I've never been a guest. So first podcast I've been a guest on.
Are you serious? You're lying.
Yeah, I'm not lying. I'm always hosting.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, y'all, that's my cousin. And our homework for the week, because we always close with homework. And I think this is a good one. And Eric, I hope you already have one. If not, you better do it. And I want to see it. And that is, I want you to, all listeners, to sit down with like your family. And I want you all to create like a family mission statement. And I say that because like times like these, I feel like we have to be grounded in something. It's the teacher thing in me. And you got to have like, I think we all have our individual like purpose. Again, this always comes up when I read The Alchemist, and I read it every year. So now I'm in the middle of reading The Alchemist, and this came up. That's actually where I got the idea from. And that's just having your personal legend. We already have that. But like if your kids can say like, hey, my dad taught me whatever, my mom taught me whatever, but can they say it's grounded in like your family's mission? Like this is what we believe as like a family. And I just think that'd be really nice to have it like posted like somewhere, and just have, I feel like it'll be something that'll bind the family together. What you think?
Yeah, that's dope. We haven't done that. That's real dope. Look at you.
Family contract. I'm thinking like a family contract. So when you're mad or you're angry or you like upset, like I know like with our family, we have like a code, like no matter what, if something's going on, we drop everything. We're there to support one another. But like, I wanted to be like, remember I was telling you that you can like register like a crest. Like I want to have like a family crest, like something where like you got a stamp. And if we stamp it and we seal it, it's real. Like, I'm telling, like, I'm on that kind of level, like the wax, pour the wax and like stamp it. Like that's kind of like what I want. Or I want the pendants, like I want the whole jazz. But anyway, I get sidetracked. Family contract. Again, you can have this with your friends. You can build it with your coworkers. I kind of have one with my students, but ours is based in a chant. So it's something like we say, maybe like usually on like Mondays or whatever, we say like, I am blank, you are blank, we are blank. So like, for instance, I was like, I am the teacher, or I am happy, you are the student, we are family, something like that. So yep, that's kind of like what our chant and what we do. And I just feel like, yeah, you can bind it in quotes, you can bind it in scriptures, like whatever you have. I feel like it's the time that like we can be united. The best thing ever is that we're in this together. There is nobody that's truly immune to what's going on. So that's what I got.
That's good homework.
Thanks. So, and again, my extra credit is that I am offering tutoring. I'm lending resources during this time for students of all ages. I'm only certified in science, and I've only have taught physics and forensics. And now I currently teach third grade, even though I'm certified in elementary, K through 8. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm only certified in those, K through 8, which is all elementary and middle. But I only teach math and science. So those are the resources I know that I can. Math and science, Leona, you teach math and reading in third grade. You know what? Time for a nap. But I do have those resources here at home, is what I'm saying. I only have math and reading at home. But if you need science, social studies, like whatever, just like let me know. All right, you can reach me. Wait, no, Eric, I'm gonna let you go first. Give them your social media handles.
Okay, I got some extra life credit. Can I give some extra life credit?
You can get whatever you want, player.
Wash your hands.
You gonna keep saying
wash. Hey, wash your hands. Hey, easy. Wash your hands. Cover your mouth when you sneeze or cough.
In your shirt or in your arm.
Yes. And if you work with people like I do, that some people don't know how to cover their mouth when they sneeze or cough, be like, hey, we're not spreading that Rona around. cover your mouth. Just tell them nicely. And then if they keep doing it, you might have to throw a little words in there so they can get their attention. But it's for a good cause. We're not spreading that Rona.
I guess. I heard Rona Roni.
So, wash your hands, be safe, and stay away from the Rona.
Even though you cannot see it. And FYI, just sidebar, I feel like this, we keep going off, but this is again how we would do if it's at home. But it's viral. It's not bacterial. So from the request of the many nurses that I know and pharmacists, y'all stop going and asking for antibiotics. It don't work like that. Oh my God. And again, if it's any surface that has had in contact, it can last 9 days. It ain't like the regular flu like a day. So at this point, we're pretty much all going to be carriers of it. But the thing is,
washing my hands.
It may not affect you, and it's all right. We're going to be all right. So, you can reach me at unrestrictedpod@gmail.com for all your questions. Again, I'm going to get back to the listener letters like in the inbox. Sorry. Our IG is Unrestricted Pod. Facebook is Unrestricted Podcast. Don't forget to rate, write a review, and subscribe. And Eric, I still don't think you gave your social media handles.
And I didn't. My social media handles for Instagram is Jones Podcast. It's JONES PODC AST. Yeah, I got it right. That spelling. Ooh, I'm bad at that stuff. I'm almost cursed that time too. I can't curse on your podcast.
I'll be sending you over a spelling list.
When it's right off the head like that, come on. I almost said your family name just then.
It's gonna come out eventually.
And Facebook is The Jones Podcast.
He'll put it in the information box because he don't want to post it anyway. So y'all bear with him. But thank you for dropping in as if you was my family in the summer. I can't wait to really do this when I come home. And I'm just gonna let it roll, and y'all gonna really get to hear us. And again, the podcast is entitled and instructed and go in the category of education, but in reality, it's about me, a teacher, and my journey and things that affect me and my thoughts and the people that are in my life and that I cross paths with. So again, like I always say, there's nothing you can do to stop the love and appreciation I have for you for joining me. So make the best of it, and blessings. We out.